And I'm Carroll Buckley for Kxo Local News. And with me on the telephone right now is the mayor of the city of El Centro, the Honorable Efrain Silva. And the city council, in a special meeting today, did take some action, Mr. Mayor. And what was that action?
Yes, thank you, Carol, for the opportunity to speak to our community and your public. Yes, the El Centro City Council held a special meeting today in which the council agreed or is proceeding with developing a reopening plan for El Centro businesses. This decision and the discussion that we had is a very difficult decision because we have to weigh both the needs of our community in terms of protecting ourselves against this virus, but also the needs of our business community and the needs of our community to get back to work and live somewhat of a normal life. So after discussion and after careful consideration from the entire council, we are proceeding with our COVID-19 reopening plan. We are opening our business and our business community in phases. Phase one, which is immediate, really has no additional ramifications. Phase one, it basically allows businesses that are already deemed or considered essential to continue to be open, and those that did not open to open. Probably the most important one is phase two, which as of today is slated to open on May 11th, and that will allow restaurants, places of worship, beauty salons, and massage parlors and tattoo parlors, and also our aquatic center to open in May. When I say open, I talk about, I mean that with restrictions, all of the normal protective measures that we all have become used to in terms of physical distancing and in terms of face masks when you are in close proximity to another person, and sanitation, those things do not go away with the reopening. We're going to insist and enforce that those businesses that do open, that they still maintain the proper preventive measure to make sure that we also continue to protect the life and health of all of our citizens and customers.
Okay, Mr. Mayor, the decision made in consult with the council, the city manager, who else was involved?
So we've been talking about this and creating this plan for some time. We consulted with, obviously, our health professionals at the El Centro Regional Medical Center, our Office of Emergency Service, headed by our Chief of Police, Chief Herbert, our own city staff, and our council, and finding, again, a mechanism that will allow our community to reopen, to get businesses open, and again, trying to get a sense of normality. We are going to be watching benchmarking in the event that certain benchmarks that we are looking at get worse over time. The city is also prepared to go back and reinforce the steps that were taken previously in terms of business decisions. We also heard today that the governor is relaxing some of the provisions established by the state. So I think that perhaps we may be a little ahead of the state in terms of the steps that we're taking. But again, the council takes this matter very seriously. We want to protect our community, but we also want businesses to reopen. I hear from a lot of business people who are suffering. They're close to bankruptcy, and we hope that businesses are able to reopen, and unfortunately, some may not. And so our belief is that the longer we wait, the greater the impact in our business community. So we're satisfied that with the preventive steps that are being required from businesses, that we'll be able to maintain both a safe community, but also get back into regular business operations.
Okay, to paraphrase the governor, we are just days away from beginning to lift some restrictions. And he specifically pointed out retail and hospitality areas to include restaurants. He also mentioned child care centers and lower risk manufacturing. that he is expecting to start lifting restrictions, again, in his words, in days rather than weeks. Okay. The idea that the city of El Centro is moving forward with this plan, have you been in consult with the county, with other cities in Imperial County?
I think we had some communications with the county, but also we wanted action as soon as possible. So at this point in time, we're taking this action on our own, and other cities, other councils are going to need to make decisions of their own in terms of what's best for their own communities. We believe that the action taken by the council today in the discussion with the council is one that is the right decision for the city of El Centro. And again, not to minimize the effects of the virus, because we are satisfied that the plan that was developed in conjunction with our health professionals and our safety personnel are such that are going to still provide a level of protection for our citizens and the people that come to El Centro.
Okay, and again, just to reiterate, you are beginning Phase 1, which in effect began yesterday with the release. Please review what is essential. You may be closed and you possibly could be considered essential. But then Phase 2, which you're looking for May 11th, that will open up a few more areas, right?
Correct. And we're obviously not mandating that businesses open. Still, the decision for a business to open within those categories approved under Phase 2, it still becomes an individual decision by business people. If it's not viable for them to adhere to the rules that we're implementing, or perhaps the restrictions that we're posing may not make business operation viable or profitable, that becomes an individual decision. Also, citizens that are still fearful of attending these businesses and these places of gathering, that obviously people don't have to do that, but we do encourage people that adhere by the measures, adhere by the social distancing, adhere by the face masking, and all of these things that are really, really important. So we trust that our community will do that, and again, we'll be tracking our own matrices, and if we see that there's a decline, an increase in cases where we are not able to provide the adequate care, we will retract or rescind the order. One of the most important matrices that we consider also in this decision is the ability of our hospital to attend to COVID positive patients that require hospitalization, and furthermore may require intensive care. And so we are satisfied with our hospital staff in terms of their ability to provide care for our citizens, even with an expected spike in cases, and that there's enough bed space, enough ability to expand the bed capacity, enough ventilators, and enough medical staff to be able to handle expected increases in the raw number of cases. So we're satisfied, again, that those measures provide protection for our community, and we're proceeding forward. Okay.
Mr. Mayor, anything that we missed?
No, again, thank you for the opportunity to speak. I know that this matter is somewhat controversial in our community, but be assured that the council is looking into what we believe to be the best interest of our business community and our citizens of El Centro, and trying to balance both the healthcare needs of our citizens as well as our business community, which is the lifeline of El Centro. And so we hope that everyone continues to be safe, that you practice the physical distancing and so on, and that together we will overcome this crisis, and together we'll manage to get to some level of normal life. And I wish everyone a safe weekend, and let's all stay healthy.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and we appreciate the visit and the update.
Thank you, Carroll.
And that's Mayor Efrain Silva of the City of El Centro with an update from today's El Centro City Council special meeting, where they have begun to reopen the city of El Centro. For KXO Local News, I'm Carroll Buckley.